welcome all of you, numerous and very authoritative speakers tonight. And let me start by thanking the committees for having organized this event, which is a kind of very important and timely, because we tend to assume that when an expat, so-called expats, arrives to New York City, and this could apply to other places, is a kind of privilege, because we assume they gets here, he or she has work. New York City, it's a place where everybody would like to come and live, and so that's just a matter of time to get used, to get, create the community, because for us Italians it's also easy. But the truth is that for anybody, being an expat is not very different than being an immigrant, which means that there is a detachment from one's country, one's family, one's habits. And despite this can be thrilling and very stimulating, sometimes can be very challenging too. This applies even to diplomats. And as we know, as you know, New York City is not that easy a city to live in or to get used to, unless you are a millionaire. But even being a millionaire, if I can say so. So I really praise the committees, and notably Lady Porco, for having launched this initiative, including because of the different angles. There is the issue of, you call it mental health. I attempt to define how to get used, how to fight and push back the challenges of loneliness or alienation sometimes. And then there is maybe a longer term challenge, which is the one of integration, which is related to what we call our own identity, our own culture, and the differences we face in whatever place we go and live abroad. I always assume that we Italians have a tendency to get together more easily, to create a community more easily and support each other. But New York City is a tough city for anybody, so we shouldn't take anything for granted. In this regard, I really appreciate the contribution that each of you will be able to share from all the different angles and perspectives on these matters. I thank you again, the committees at Lady Porco, for having organized this, and I give the floor and the mastership here of the event our friend Matteo. Ciao.
Thank you. Grazie Consulate Generale, thank you so much. So, Lady, maybe you want to say something?
Thank you.
Of course.
I prepared some notes, and I have a PowerPoint that basically follows my notes. And so I'm so glad to see all of you here, and it means a lot to me, because this is the kind of conference I would have liked 30 years ago when I came to the country. But even if I have to be honest, even then I wouldn't have come, because people here are so busy, we are so busy trying to find our footing, that I just wouldn't have come. So thank you so much for having taken the time to be here today. And it's interesting because well-being is a very big business, is a multi-trillion-dollar business. So this country talks a lot about well-being, mental health, but in reality, the people that really need it cannot take advantage of it. So this is a beginning of a series of events that we want to do to take care about these things for all of us. And I want to start with some important numbers that I think are important for us, because the Italians abroad are so many. There are 5.93 million Italians registered to IRED, that is the Italian organization that registers the Italians abroad, and which is 1/10 of the overall Italian Italian population. And 160,000 Italians leave the country every year. And Ireland has 108,000 residents in the tri-state area. And this doesn't include, of course, all the Italians who are undocumented, which is still happening. And Ireland also includes the heritage and the husbands and wives of the Italians, so it's not really 100% accurate. But we are part of this global trend, and as of 2019, 250 million individuals are said to live outside of their country of origin. So 30 individuals live outside of their country of origins, 1 every 30 individuals. Then I have another slide here that I just added, just to give a sense of the difference between countries. How many Italians live abroad comparing to post-industrial countries and also countries in total disarray. And also, I also put the American numbers just to see the difference of how many Italians are living. And then I put a quote that circulated a lot on Instagram, maybe a lot of you knows it, and also patients of mine mentioned it. O di mezzi sogni o raddoppi il coraggio, either half your dreams or double your courage. And I think this quote encapsulates what it means to be immigrants. Because even if some of us have left Italy in great duress, other people have left because of ambition, or they were drifted here, they come as tourists and then they stayed, or they found loved ones. But in all these cases, at some point, difficulties arise, and it can be the culture shock at the beginning, or it can be later on, even in old age. Old age is a particularly difficult time for immigrants. And so immigration gives and take. You have all these beautiful things, as the consul was saying, but also a lot of losses. Imposter syndrome is very common, guilt about the people you leave behind, overwhelming loss. And with that, you have a double life and all these beautiful things that we all know. A man is like very open, but we always have to balance this being neither here or there. It's hard to find bicultural stability, and even